Good morning. I'm glad you could join us. I think I've got an interesting story. Some of you may have heard of these folks before. They are known as the Land Philharmonic. See, there's this guy down in Paraguay, and his name is Don Cola Gomez. I think that's pretty cool to have Cola as your middle name. That sounds very, very refreshing to me. Well, anyway, he's a trash worker, and he's a carpenter. And there's a lot of people that live in and around this trash heap in the city of Asuncion, okay? And he wanted to do something to help them. And he didn't know anything about music, but he decided to try to put something together for them. So they're making music out of trash. Here's what he did. Other orchestras, you know, they've got really expensive violins and stuff. I remember when I pastored in the city, we had a guy at our church. He moved up from Texas. His name was Glenn. And he worked at this company. I never heard of it. And they met in a house, or they worked in a house, and he made bows for a violin. And they were like $75,000 to $100,000 for the bow, not the violin. Those were more like $500,000 or something. And he told me that he could tell me where he worked. He trusted me. But they didn't hang a shingle outside, and there's no neon sign saying, because people would steal the stuff. But these folks, oh my goodness, these kids are playing Beethoven, his sonatas with plastic buckets, wash tubs, and drain pipes. Now at first you might think, oh, they didn't go to much detail. Check out the video, go on YouTube or go Google it and put Land Philharmonic in there. And I mean, what he made violins out of. They show this one guy, he's got this, it's an X-ray, you know, a plastic X-ray thing. It's translucent. And he's smiling with it. Next thing you know, it's on top of a drum and someone's playing it. It's just amazing the stuff that they did. So just some of the details. They took, we're going to need a little pause there. One of the instruments was a cello. He took the body out of an oil barrel and he put tuning knobs from a hairbrush and the heel of a shoe and a wooden spoon. And it's a cello. I mean, these guys sound good. And they've toured all over the place. But here's the beautiful thing. He took stuff that other people were throwing away that seemed to have no value, and he redeemed it. And isn't that what Christ has done with us? There are so many people in the world that people are like, oh, they don't amount to anything. I'll never forget there was one time that I was at church and someone had come forward. They wanted someone to pray with them. And just as I was about to lay a hand on this person's shoulder, then I'll just say that this person had a really rough life. I knew that. And right before I touched this person's shoulder, I could hear the voice of God speak to me. I could hear Jesus' voice. This is one for whom I died. Now, I know John 3:16, that Jesus went to the cross for everybody. But Jesus was just reminding me that someone that maybe the world doesn't place a lot of value on, and this person would totally understand what I'm saying. But Jesus is saying, I went to the cross with people like this in mind. Why? To redeem us. Jesus takes that which the world says doesn't have much value, and he says, oh no, to me, this is a treasure. And that's what Don Cola Gomez did with these instruments. And the better thing is that somehow these kids learned how to play and they're making beautiful music. I love what it says in Galatians chapter 3, verse 13 and following. But Christ has redeemed us from the curse pronounced by the law. See, the law said if you don't live up to it, you're just cursed. How did he do it? When he hung on the cross, he took upon himself the curse of our wrongdoing. For it is written in the scriptures, cursed is everyone who is hung on a tree. Jesus threw himself in the trash heap so that we would be freed from it. Jesus is our Redeemer. Check out the video. We showed it at church this past Sunday. God bless you. You have a great week.